There we go. So tell me a little bit about what you do. Restaurants, books, all this incredible stuff.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, it's great to talk to you.
Likewise.
Thank you. I'm a restaurant publicist, and I spent the last decade working for Serafina Restaurant Group, which we don't have any Serafinas in Pittsburgh, not yet, but we are all over the world, based in New York City, and we have a very interesting celebrity clientele. We always protect their privacy and let them come and feel natural, but it's a special place because you can be innocently having a pizza with your best friend and maybe Lady Gaga's at the next table and nobody's really bothering her. And the price points are such that you don't have to be rich and famous to come in and eat, but you might end up rubbing elbows with the rich and famous. So because of the restaurant group, I was able to travel around the world where we opened new locations. And with that experience, I came full circle to my roots, which were I always had writing in my Irish blood. And I was encouraged by the late love of my life to write a novel. So I wrote Four Seasons at Angelino's, which is a romantic comedy, but it's inspired by many of the things I actually did witness while on the job or while I was single in New York City in the dating scene. And I took a composite of everything to wrap it up into a compelling story. So I don't name any celebrity names in there, but there are, a little glimpse of here and there of some of the things that happened in the restaurant group or outside of the restaurant group just during my travels.
Wow, that is incredible. And what would you say was the biggest challenge about writing the book?
Well, as I mentioned, of course, I wanted to respect people's privacy. And one of the challenges was that reality in this case sometimes was so much more amusing than fiction because of the things that I witnessed. But again, I didn't want to call anybody out, so I'm like, let's just make this fictitious. And so I had to make sure I didn't cross the line in any way, and everything's very positive. There's a series of romances in this book. Every chapter is named after a different city. I only write about cities that I have actually stepped foot in. So you have, in America, of course, New York, LA, Miami, Greenwich, Connecticut, for some smaller suburb places like White Plains, and then London, Paris, Mumbai, Moscow, Tokyo. So it really is, it takes 1 year, 4 seasons, and the protagonist, she gives herself a year to find Mr. Right, and she will date everybody and anybody until she meets the one. Now, of course, the one is sort of a friend that's kind of lingering, but she doesn't know what's going on. So she's jumping headfirst into relationships with the wrong men. And it's really a whirlwind, but it moves very fast paced, and it's trying, to keep the reader's interest. And every time you turn a page, you might find yourself in a different city. I'd like to also make a tribute to the cities also, because they're sort of characters in the book. And with what's going on right now with coronavirus, people can't travel, and it's fun to live vicariously through this character that's all over the place.
Nice, very nice. And you mentioned, so funny, you mentioned Greenwich, Connecticut, and White Plains. My sister worked in Greenwich and lives in White Plains.
Wow, okay, yeah, White Plains is a Thanksgiving scene. So she heads there to be around a normal family, to get out of the craziness. So her friend's boyfriend invites them, and then something very dramatic happens at Thanksgiving dinner. So, the whole story, she's trying to find herself. And of course, she's from Orange County, California, which is a little more traditional than this jet set life she's a part of. So when she goes back home, she gets a little bit more grounded and reprioritizes her life.
Wow, I can't wait to read. It sounds so cool. It sounds like the kind of book I read anyway, so this is just even better.
Yes, I hope you like it. I mean, it's supposed to be lighthearted and fun, but there's some great themes in there. I have a little anti-drug theme woven throughout. There's a beautiful adoption subplot, to just think that even though it's a romantic comedy, and we're talking about romance on, on the passion level, but then also it's love on a different level that I think will everybody can relate to, hopefully.
Sounds like it. And what was your favorite scene to write without giving too much away?
There's two actually. In Mumbai, there's a beautiful romantic scene where Charlotte and her love interest Wyatt, they're visiting the monuments at night. So they get this night tour. And, India is so exotic and exciting. It's like the last place you'd expect these two Americans to finally be connecting. And then one other one, which I would say is a best kept secret until now, I've been blabbing about it. There's a chapter called Cap Estelle. And that's based on a place that I went, which is in the south of France, near Monaco. And it's this beautiful estate that has been transformed into a hotel. And it's right on the water, the infinity pool. And she has a romance there with a interesting Frenchman.
Ooh, nice. So I think it's like a lot of women's fantasies to have that.
Exactly. It gets a little spicy. So, I was trying to keep it tasteful, but I do delve into the passion that happens between Charlotte and her love interest.
Well, we're just going to have to tune in to see what that's about. Would you ever consider making this book maybe into a movie or something like that?
Absolutely. I have been so many characters, and within the restaurant industry, I'm not sure, if everybody knows, but a lot of relationships form. You'll have the bartender with the hostess, with the, or you'll have the customer who always wants to sit at a certain table because he's secretly in love with the waitress, but he's not saying anything. So, he's too shy to admit it. You have so many characters and it's a revolving door. So I could see it as a series because it can keep going and going. But yeah, a movie also, I would be happy to entertain that as well.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm already picturing it in my mind. I would love to see this as like one of those, movie series, like, how they have the Aurora movies on Hallmark or something like that.
Yes, those are great. The thing I love about romantic comedy is that by definition, there's a happy ending. So
yes.
That's why I love this genre. Let's be happy. This is supposed to be escapism, and we want to come away from this book smiling, or like you said, if it's a series or a movie, you want to smile afterwards and feel like, hey, there can be a happy ending.
Exactly.
Life is beautiful, right?
It really is. And if this were to happen, who would you want to play Charlotte?
That's so funny. There's so many talented actresses, but kind of like Anna Kendricks I've been watching lately because she's just got this sharp sense of humor, like there's just something about her, this dryness that she's funny and you kind of want to root for her. So I could see that. I could see any redhead. I could see Emma Stone. There's just so many women who I can see playing her. And in the book, she's in her mid-30s, but a little younger, a little older. She's at that point in her life where she needs to pull it together. And the career has been going well for her, but then she realizes, oh my gosh, something horrible happens with her boyfriend in the first few pages. She's like, I realize she needs to get her life together and get her personal life together because business has been great, but let's, work on the other half. So many career women, sometimes so focused on work that time just slips by and they, find themselves thinking it's time to reshift and focus on the personal side.
I feel personally attacked. No, just kidding. But I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just like, but slim pickings though when it comes to dating. Just saying sometimes.
Oh yes, we cover that in the book. Trust me. Charlotte meets with a matchmaker. She does the online dating, and something funny about online dating. She starts finding her colleagues from the restaurant, like the bartender who she's trying to avoid is sending her a wink, And so I think there's a lot of real life mixed into this book that women will definitely relate to, and that was my goal. I thought I was writing for a female audience, but men actually are very perceptive to this book, to 4 Seasons at Angelino's. I've been getting a lot of compliments from the guys, and I'm kind of thinking That's great, but I hope you're reading between the lines here and maybe changing your behavior just a little bit. But I
Just a
don't
little.
villainize all the men. I didn't want to like really bash all the guys. There's a few bad guys in the book, but most of all, sometimes with relationships, people just aren't meant to be together. It doesn't mean that one person is bad, one person is good. It's just not a connection. So that's another fun thing about romance. When there actually is a connection between characters, it's magical, and I was trying to capture that in the book.
Nice. And do you have any other books planned?
Absolutely. I'm writing the sequel, and it's funny because I just finished a chapter on Philadelphia. I mean, I know you're Pittsburgh. I know it's a big difference, but I'm writing about Philadelphia in that book, a special place in Italy called Sirmione. Certain cities are in both books. Obviously, New York is always going to be in like part of the story, but now she has in the sequel a business interest in Houston. So I'm trying to mix it up. I'd like to cover, I have Chicago in the sequel. I want to cover the whole country. I want people to read it, and when it's their city to say, yes, I love that restaurant. I'm so glad, she had a great date there or a great meal there. I do incorporate food as well because we all love food, right?
Yes, we do. Do you have recipes in there, or?
Oh, sorry?
Do you have recipes in the book that go along with the food, or?
I don't. I thought about doing that as a supplement online, sort of as a blog, but I do get very detailed about certain dishes. And even, she loves food and loves to eat, but she finds with one date with a Frenchman, they can tend to be healthier eaters than some of us here in America. So she's ordering the risotto and all the fun stuff while he's getting a light branzino and asparagus salad. And she's like, maybe I should have toned down my order. So, I incorporate food in different ways. But we can all think about those memorable meals, and maybe I will add some recipes.
Nice. And if you're ever in Pittsburgh, I have a great restaurant to take you to. It's also a martini bar.
Ooh, nice. What kind of food does it serve?
It's like American food and stuff like that. Chicken sandwiches, pasta, stuff like that. But the place it's really good food. And the place is called Olive or Twist.
Oliver Twist. What a great name. That is so cute. And what is there a specific martini that you like there?
They have a s'mores martini I like. They have a pumpkin spice one. They have all different ones for all different seasons.
S'mores pumpkin spice. Okay, this sounds delicious. I do have a martini scene where she has a few too many. She can't remember. Is it an apple martini, apricot martini? And she's a little bit tipsy, and she's back in the room and forgot to pay the bill and call. She's at the hotel calling down saying, sorry about that. But she can't go back down because she's tipsy. But yeah, we like martinis as New Yorkers. That's for sure.
Well, it's a date whenever you come to Pittsburgh.
Thank you. I will keep that in mind. I have to put it on my list. I want coronavirus to end so I could get traveling again.
Exactly, yeah. And one thing I like to ask the people I interview, tell me a fun fact about yourself that might surprise people.
I don't know if it's a fun fact, but it's a fact that's surprising, is that I'm actually very, very private. And so people are like, but wait, you're on social media, this and that. But I keep a lot of things to myself and kind of will live in my imagination. So even though, I'm talking about the book, talking about my experiences, there's a lot that I have locked away, hidden somewhere. And I think that those things will stay there for a long time.
I'm the exact same way. I think it's for us creative people. We can do it like that, but some stuff we just keep private.
Exactly. And that's the fun part. Be a little mysterious. Like with you, I mean, you're hosting, people think they know every detail about your life, but I'm sure you have little secrets you can keep to yourself.
I do. People always tease me about that. Like, you report on everything else, but your Facebook is just memes and snarky little things. I'm like, I'm not going to put my personal life for all to see, because first of all, I got to be careful about that. And secondly, it's none of your business.
Exactly. And that's nice. You get to keep it to yourself. And then if you decide to divulge some information, that's your decision, and you can do it when you're ready.
Exactly. Yes. And since we're also a TV site, what are you watching on TV these days?
Well, okay. This will sound random. I'm a little behind in the game. I was just watching Michelle Williams on Netflix. It's an old one, My Week with Marilyn. That's what I was
Oh,
watching
okay,
last
okay.
night. By the way, we had a big earthquake in LA this morning. So
I've
4:30 in the
heard,
morning, the whole
yeah.
building's shaking. I was wondering if, I was going to live to make it to this interview, but I'm glad I get to talk to you,
Yeah.
which was very scary. But I've been watching that. And then in LA, there's a popular series that I just finished. It's called Selling Sunset.
I love that show.
Isn't that good? It's so
Yes.
good. I just watched season 2, and I think the next one comes out in a few weeks. And I live blocks away. Well, I pretty much live, I'm on the border of West Hollywood, Beverly Hills. So I drive down Sunset Boulevard. In fact, Mel's Diner is an iconic place on Sunset Boulevard, and there's a scene from the book, like a very special date that's there. As I mentioned, incorporate actual restaurants. So this is like my neighborhood that they're talking about, and it's really fun.
Yes,
To
I
see these
love that.
women going, and it's very women's empowerment when you think about it. You have the two Oppenheim brothers who own the place, but it's all these women, and they're out there and they're selling the real estate, and they're fierce. So I like to watch them.
Yeah, and I've been a huge fan of Michelle since she was a soap opera actress, so it was only natural I follow her into this next phase of her career.
Yeah, she is so beautiful, and she seems so nice. So it's fun to watch her. And she's also selling a lot of real estate in the valley and the other side. She just brings a different dimension to the show, so it's nice.
Yes, and I was at an award show at on the red carpet, and I was so mad that she had no more time to interview people, get interviewed. I'm like, I just want to meet her. But
Oh,
next time.
for sure. I've never met her, but she seems very approachable. She just has a great
Yes,
attitude.
she does. She does. But yes, that's another one I love to watch as well.
That's a good one. And I'm trying to think, what else are you watching that's coming out?
There's so many things. I just finished a new Unsolved Mysteries, which on Netflix, which was just amazing. I watched that 3 times already. And every time I just go and I'm Googling, okay, I want to find all the clues and see if I can solve it, even though I don't even live in any of those places, but I can try to solve it.
Oh, I'll check that out. That sounds interesting. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, I watched the original when I was a kid with my grandma, and then I found it on Amazon and I binge watched it, and it was
Oh,
just so much fun to watch.
oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
also on Netflix, a new Babysitters Club series because I read the books when I was little, and now they made a more modernized series of it. And my sister and I were text watching together.
Oh, that's so cool. I want to watch that. See, I like this
Yeah,
happy, lighthearted, fun.
and it is. And then my sister and I both we realized, and then my friend and I were talking about it last night. We all realized we were old. We're like, you're old when you realize the dads are the ones that are really hot.
Right. That is so funny. Well, that happened with 16 Candles. Wait, I'm forgetting the name of the actor, but it was like a meme going around that now he's 60 years old. Do you remember that Molly Ringwald movie?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The hot guy that I don't know how old he was when he filmed it, but now he's 60 and you're like, oh, he's like grandpa age. And people get, moralized in these movies, and you always think they're that age, and then you don't see them for 20 years. And oh, well, we love the movies. We just need to enjoy.
That's what happened with Riverdale. My sister and I are both real big fans of that as well. And then we're like, oh, the hot dad to Riverdale. I'm like, and I remember Luke Perry when he was on 90210, and
Yes.
oh,
Love that show. And yeah,
same. It's
that
on
one is like,
Hulu, so
oh, that's great memories of that one. Yeah, I love it so much. It's
yeah,
like,
there's so many good shows.
yeah, and then I'm sorry, I might keep going, but Clueless also, there were certain movies and shows that kind of can cement like your childhood, or not that I had that lifestyle in Clueless, but it's like the timing and the music in the show, and just to see how the actors grow up, just the attitude back when people were using pagers instead of cell phones. And
Yes, yes. I was watching. I'm saying with my mom, and we've been watching Perfect Strangers on Hulu. And there's like one scene. It's like, why doesn't he take out his cell phone and text? Oh wait, no, he can't. They weren't
it's
even invented yet.
It's so true. Oh my gosh. I remember like on my pager, if I liked a guy and he paged me, I'm like, ah! I remember liking a guy so much that I literally pulled over and went to a payphone somewhere to call, hey, I got your message. And I'm like trying to play it cool. I went to Loyola Marymount University, so it was near LAX in LA. And I'm
Right.
trying to play it cool, and there's these airplanes flying over with that loud noise. And I didn't want to know. I went
That's
running to the
awesome.
payphone.
That is awesome. And the last one on my list is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm obsessed. And so are my dogs, apparently.
That is great. I've met Kyle several times, and she's very lovely and nice and down to earth. And trying to think if I've met any of the other housewives, but I love that show. And out of all the housewives, I like that one the best because
Same, yes.
Yeah, I mean, just something you see their homes and I don't know. I feel like there's a sense of realness about it. I don't know if I'm being duped, but it seems pretty authentic. So it's a great series.
I love it. Who's your favorite this season?
Oh, by the way, of course, I met Lisa Vanderpump a few times. I know she's not on this season, but I like Kyle. I am fascinated with Denise and what's happening with her husband involved. And I have to say, I have met Dorit also, who was very friendly and nice. And something about Dorit, I just like to look at what she's wearing because she's
exactly
so creative with her style. I'm just like, she'll do some gold stuff here on her hair or braids. And it's amazing. Erica's really fun too. I think they're all great. So, but yeah, something out of all of their style, it's Dorit that just really always catches my eye. But of course, she has a background as a fashion designer. I know she does bathing suits. I don't know if she did other fashion as well. So she's definitely got her style game on point. What about
gorgeous.
you? Which ones do you like?
I like them all too, but I think Kyle is my favorite, and Erica, because I love her music and stuff like that.
Oh, Erica's really fun. She's definitely, and she's such a good dancer. So I like to watch her. She's very entertaining, and her style is really exciting too. I don't know if you remember a few seasons ago when they were in, I think it was Tokyo. Was that when she did like the kind of, or maybe it was Germany when she did like a play text, like a, rubber hot pink outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I'm remembering it 2 or 3 years later, it just made an impression.
I was like, dang girl, I want to do that. I tried doing the dance moves and I nearly broke every bone in my body. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I think Andy Cohen has had some instruction on his show. It's like the pat the puss or whatever that she does. So funny. But yeah, she's very creative. I think they're all fabulous. And I think it must take a lot it might look easy to us, but to be filming all day and to open up your personal life and have your spouses involved and to cry on camera, it takes a lot of guts, I guess, a lot of courage and to be so open. That's what I meant earlier when I said I'm very private. I could never be on one of those shows. It's like I'm too shy.
Same. But I would like to go to different traveling, not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. When they take the trips, the one in France, again, I think that was last season when they're at the winery. And
yes.
By the way, I do like Camille Grammer. I know she's not full-time, but I remember last year was the fire, so she's going to go to France. But she's another one that adds some spice to the show because she's really tough. Like
she's badass. Yeah, I love her. I know a lot of people don't, but I just love her. There's something about her. I just adore her.
Yeah,
and she's so nice on Instagram. She'll always respond to everybody, and she's just adorable. That. Yeah, even if it's just a like, she'll make a point to respond to as many people as possible.
Well, her and Denise really got hit by the fires
I've heard,
last year.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't care how much money somebody has. When your house burns down and you lose, pictures of your family and things that meant something to you, it really breaks my heart. And I think it took a lot of courage for them to just keep going and even keep filming. And that to me was the situation. Lisa Vanderpump, she had a lot of personal hardships, deaths in her family. And I remember her last season, she kept going and kept filming. Some people would say, guys, I'm out. I just can't. It's too much.
Yeah, I could never.
So I admire them for that, to keep going and just to have the strength to do that.
Absolutely. And remind us one more time where we can get your book.
Yes. Okay. So 4 seasons at Angelino's, A Year to Find the One. We see Charlotte on her sitting on a suitcase, frustrated. Here's Wyatt in the clouds, drifting his mind. But this book is available on Amazon. It's at Target. It's at Barnes and Noble, Bookshop. You can find it through indie books, Books a Million. So if you go to my website, it's carolinemcbride.com. I have all the different outlets listed, or you could just Google 4 Seasons at Angelino's and you'll probably land on the Amazon page. But like I said, it's at Barnes and Noble and other book retailers.
Wonderful. Well, it was a pleasure to speak with you today, and I cannot wait to speak to you again in the future.
Thank you so much, Sammy. It means so much to be on your show and to talk to you. And I can't wait to go to Pittsburgh and try those martinis.
Absolutely. Let me know when.
Hopefully soon.
Let's hope so. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.